A district court judge in the United States has ordered Chicago State University to grant a former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, access to the academic records of President Bola Tinubu as requested. In the court's accompanying memorandum opinion and order, Justice Nancy Maldonado overruled President Tinubu's objections to the release of the document and adopted in full the recommendations of an earlier judgment on the matter. The court therefore granted Atiku's application. In reaching this conclusion, the court emphasized that it is expressing no view on the merits of Atiku's underlying claims regarding President Tinubu or his graduation from CSU, or on the validity of the Nigerian election, nor is the court taking any position on what any of the documents or testimony from CSU may or may not ultimately show. Judge Maldonado ordered Chicago State University's corporate designee by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, October 3rd, in view of Supreme Court of Nigeria's deadline for filing, which is fixed for October 5th. The court stated that it will not extend the deadlines. It also cautioned Tinubu that any request for a stay before the court will be denied. All right, yes, will be denied. That's
covering this story in detail, back to back, and we've seen some reports. Some people, some headlines are reporting Atiku wins again in court. I mean, this was bound to happen because obviously you would file your petition. There will be a response. If you recall, Tinubu had at one point filed a response to Atiku's petition saying that he was only going on a fishing expedition, and that what Atiku was requesting was not going to be used in Nigeria but for his own purposes.
Absolutely.
But now we see that the judge has overruled and has deemed it fit that Atiku has the right to access Tinubu's certificate. Tinubu had at one point said that it was just his diploma that he wanted released and not everything. So we'll see the end of this.
I think Judge Maldonado is very emphatic about the position that she has taken and is for the Chicago State University to release, as requested by Atiku's lawyers, the documents, the certificates, and everything that they have asked for to be released by the 5th of October. But there was also a caveat there that he was giving that judgment without any bias or prejudice to the content or the expected or likely outcome or the merits of Atiku's prayers in court.
So I posted this video earlier, and in the video I read out what happened, the judgment, but unfortunately some people still doubted because it wasn't a video. So I saw this video, they just dropped it some minutes ago, and I started to repost it so that you can get to hear it from at least from a more trusted source, Arise News. Thank God for them. Channels has completely avoided this particular incident, this particular case, together with many other news companies. The other ones that will report about it will report to the way it will suit them and all of that. But there is something we need to understand. I think we need to educate our politicians to stop going to embarrass Nigeria outside. Please. I don't want to talk about the case of Ike Kwerimadu. I don't want to talk about the case of James Ibori. I don't want to talk about this Tinubu's case. Enough of these things. For goodness sake. Enough. Enough of all these things. Look at what we've become. The other woman, what's her name again? The one that stole a lot of money, that bought only this thing for how many $1 million? See, it's only in Nigeria that all these shenanigans work. It's only in Nigeria that somebody can be crazy, can be, and still people will reward. How can you just look at? Do you know this case would have been very silent? Nobody would have, not much people would have known about it. It would have gone silently, smoothly, until Atiku got what he wanted and go to court. But because of the drama of no, don't release, that was what made this case to become more popular. And then both CNN and different companies are now aware of it. Even CBS in Chicago State is now reporting it. As a matter of fact, it is one of their biggest selling content since they started posting on Twitter. Why? Because we chose to make it the way it is. When you think that it's everywhere, you take your madness. That's exactly what you get. How can you come outside? How does it even make any sense to any human being? Why are we so desperate in this country? Some people will tell you, let me not talk. Because there is no amount of things you say about this country that will change the narrative and the belief of some people. The way they view this country, it will never change. It will not. One person called me and told, oh God, I don't want to talk about all these things. If the person who sits as VP of this country can open his mouth that he used to eat food and say the best graduating classmate in his school during his time is now languishing as a GMD of a bank, and here he is, the vice president. He's the luckiest person. Can you imagine? That is exactly. So he's discouraging anybody doing well in school, because doing well is not tantamount to you being successful. So someone who is the GMD of a bank is languishing. Then what do you tell the children in school? What do you expect them to become? To abandon school and go and hustle. Whatever they have to do to make money and get themselves to politics and become vice president tomorrow, so they can also stand up and call others names. All of you who are busy supporting all these things, it is not now you will know what you are doing to yourself. Especially our old men. I heard one senior advocate of Nigeria. What's that man's name? Clark. He came out today again and was talking. Some of these old men, I go soon they talk to us anyhow. Because some of them don't get respect for ourselves. We now know the respect to ourselves. We not even fear this country. We not even regard this country. We not regard the children when I will leave behind. You people are going to destroy the country and leave it in shambles for the people you are leaving behind. You have just about 10 years left on earth, and then you are busy speaking with your rotten mouth. Some people are very, very shameless.